Hey everyone, Jimmy Crowther here for OSU Marketing Team 17, and obviously we deal with the life of a sports fan with as our main topic for this group project. And today we're going to be breaking down one thing that is definitely the biggest piece of news going around the sports world, and that is how to deal with the coronavirus as a fan and just as a watcher of sports. So we want to start out with taking some basic precautions for fans in the NBA and really all other sporting events around the world, because we know that there have been a lot of cancellations. There's a lot of leagues and sports that are being played without fans from here on out due to the coronavirus and the situation that is going on around the world. And so we want to be able to make sure you're aware of some basic precautions as a fan. Now, number one thing, which should be obvious, is just to be washing your hands regularly. The suggested time is at least 20 seconds, but with the coronavirus, people have suggested doubling that, at least using warm water and soap whenever you do. The most important thing you can do besides washing your hands is just to know the symptoms of the coronavirus. And people with the virus may experience a runny nose, a sore throat, cough, fever, and difficulty breathing, which really only happens in severe cases, but it's something that you definitely want to watch out for, because a runny nose, a sore throat, and a cough and a fever around this time are not that uncommon. But once the difficulty of breathing comes in, then you know that there's definitely something that needs to be checked out. So make sure you're going and getting tested for the coronavirus. Now, another thing as a sports fan is they want us to avoid public spaces with lots of people, aka sporting events. So there have been a lot of cities that have taken away gatherings of X amount of people, and there's a lot of leagues that are playing without fans. And right now the NBA, which is the league that we're going to focus on the most, is really just suspending their entire season until further notice. Now, one of the biggest myths about the coronavirus and spreading the coronavirus is the fact that your basic surgical mask will not protect you from getting the virus. That's not true. It's definitely a safety measure that may not be necessary, but would definitely help you out in this situation. Now, we've seen, like I said, that the coronavirus has affected people in sports already. We've seen people that work in sports are losing their jobs right now. People that are paid hourly are definitely suffering. But we've seen owners like Mark Cuban and players like Zion Williamson and Blake Griffin taking care of those hourly workers. And they've said that they are willing to donate some of their money to pay them as if they were working an hourly wage already. Now, another thing that this is affecting in the sports world is the fact that sports channels like ESPN and Fox Sports are only being able to talk about older games, and they're playing rewinds. There's nothing new right now to talk about. There's not a whole lot of new content. Obviously, that's not the biggest problem with the virus, but in the sports world, it's a big issue, and people who work in sports media are definitely suffering because of this, because there's no real new sports content to talk about on a regular basis, especially with the cancellation of NBA games. So that's where we want to focus now, is how Corona is affecting the NBA. Now, this was the first real league in the U.S. that we saw cancel games, and then we saw the NCAA follow suit. The NBA is on at least a 30-day hiatus after Rudy Gobert caught the virus. He was supposed to be playing a game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder called off the game, and immediately after, Adam Silver decided, hey, the NBA needs to take a break and figure out what is going on. Now, Rudy Gobert went around and he was touching the mics as a joke to kind of poke fun at the coronavirus, and then he was the first player to get the virus, and then his teammate as well, Donovan Mitchell, tested positive also. They seem to be like they're doing okay and they're going to recover well, but it definitely put a damper on things and really was the first sign of anything in the NBA. Now, the Thunder had to postpone that game, and then the NBA, like I said, followed suit and said, hey, we're going to take 30 days to figure out what's going on. We don't want fans and our players at risk, so we're not going to be playing games anymore. Now they're discussing basically, do they want to push the season back completely, or do they want to go ahead and start playing some games when the summer rolls around and just keep it going, or do they just want to cancel the season? Now, they probably won't cancel the season because it's going to cost a lot of money to do, but the NBA knows that they want to put the health of their players and their fans first. So again, I just want to remind you guys before we get out of here today is just the basic precautions that you can be taking as a sports fan. Make sure you're washing your hands regularly. Make sure you're using hand sanitizer that has alcohol. So a hand sanitizer without alcohol is not going to fight this virus at all. You will not be killing any germs that are going to be spreading to you. Make sure you know those symptoms: the runny nose, the fever, sore throat, cough, and also difficulty breathing. Make sure you're staying away from public places that are just too many people in a crowd. A lot of cities have basically expelled the idea of gatherings of 500 or more. Some people even 250 or more. And if you're sick, this is the most important thing: stay away from other people. Guys, thanks for watching.